well of Allah, to think good of Allah, in light of tests from Allah. From the true signs that a person thinks well of Allah is that they think well of Allah when they're in the hardest of times. And this is what Yusuf alayhi salam portrayed when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tested him. And we know that the first test, and indeed one of the hardest, is that Allah tested him that his own brothers, his own family, that they wanted to harm him. And that his brothers plotted for him and they threw him in the well. And this was after negotiation, when some of them had mentioned killing him. And then after that, he was sold. He became a slave. And finally, he ended up in the house of Al-Aziz, the king of that time. And in the house, after he was adopted, again he was tested. Allah says, وَرَاوَدَتْهُ الَّتِي هُوَ فِي بَيْتِهَا عَنْ نَفْسِهِ, that the Imra'at al-Aziz, who raised and adopted this child, she tempted him. And then when his brothers came to him, they came to Yusuf, and Yusuf alayhi salam had done what he'd done to get his brother from them, the youngest. They said to him, إِن يَسْرِقْ فَقَدْ سَرَقَ أَخٌ لَهُ مِنْ قَبْلِ. They're slandering Yusuf when he's right in front of them, but they do not know. Allah says, فَعَرَفَهُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. That Yusuf, when they came to him, Yusuf knew who they were. He recognized them. But Allah says, وَهُمْ لَهُ مُنْكِرُونَ. And inkar is to deny. So they saw him and they denied him. Not only that, when it became apparent that the youngest had stolen, and for that reason Yusuf kept him with him because he stole. And this was a plot that Yusuf alayhi salam put in place. But per the plot, he stole, so he was to be kept. And then they made the statement, they said, that if he stole, then his brother previously stole too. And then Allah says, فَأَسَرَّهَا يُوسُفُ فِي نَفْسِهِ وَلَمْ يُبْدِهَا لَهُمْ. Yusuf kept this in his heart when he said this. But again, the husn al-dhann, in light of this ibtila, is that Allah says, Yusuf said, إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ. When she tempted him, he says, مَعَاذَ اللَّهِ, I seek refuge in Allah. إِنَّهُ رَبِّي, indeed he is my Lord, أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ. Not only Yusuf did he have a good thought of Allah, but he knew that the end of the test would be good for him. He says, أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ, that Allah made the ending, my ending, better. And then he says, إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. And indeed, the wrongdoers do not succeed. That it's a law, an unwritten law, that any zalim never succeeds. As long as you're oppressing, you will never succeed. So the fact that he says, إِنَّهُ أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ, shows that Yusuf alayhi salam knew his ending would be good. Why? Because he thinks well of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the light of the test itself. And having the good thought of Allah in the time of a test, in of itself is a test. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts you in a situation where you're being wronged, and there's so many ways that people wrong other people. But when you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watchful over what is happening,